from the Lakeside Newsroom of the Henrico Citizen, your hometown news source since 2001. This is the Henrico News Minute with publisher Tom Lapis.
COVID numbers keep rising in Henrico, how that's impacting the school system, and what we'll learn today. And police are called to two Eastern Henrico schools yesterday. We'll have details in today's Henrico News Minute. It's Thursday, January 13th, 2022.
And now for the news.
Several Henrico County agencies are conducting a joint investigation after a student at John Rolfe Middle School sustained non-life-threatening burns at the school yesterday afternoon. It happened a little before 12:30. A student who was allegedly playing with a lighter burned a classmate during science class, according to a message from Principal Debbie George to families of students in the class. The victim's hair allegedly caught on fire. The victim was taken to an area hospital to receive treatment. Now, the Henrico Fire Marshal's office is leading the investigation and supported by Henrico Police, Fire, and Henrico Schools in conjunction with the Henrico Commonwealth's Attorney's Office. School officials are taking appropriate disciplinary action as necessary, according to George. Meanwhile, next door yesterday at Valentine High School, a student was arrested after police allegedly found a gun in his car on school grounds. The discovery came from an anonymous tip sent in to school officials. Henrico Police were alerted at about 2 p.m. School resource officers and school officials investigated and allegedly recovered the gun from the car. There was no known threat to any school, according to police. The boy was arrested on charges of possession of a firearm on school property and underage possession of a firearm. He's currently in custody at the Henrico County Juvenile Detention Home. Henrico County Public Schools reported 673 new COVID-19 cases last week, more than tripling the case count from the last week of school before the winter holiday. Positive cases across the county also are soaring, and Tuesday the Board of Supervisors declared a state of local emergency to allow greater flexibility to purchase COVID-19 testing kits and other supplies amid the surge. The increase of infections has caused some major staffing problems in the school system. There were 530 employees altogether absent on Monday, and in total about 9% of teachers have been absent since schools reopened last Thursday, according to the school division. Recently, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention updated its K-12 guidance to reduce the recommended time for isolation and quarantine periods from 10 days to 5 days for unvaccinated people who were exposed to the virus, but the Virginia Department of Health has not yet updated that same guidance. The department says it's reviewing the CDC's input. As of yesterday, HCPS has maintained its more stringent 10-day isolation period for unvaccinated people who were exposed to the virus. HCPS leadership typically prefers to have the VDH's perspective before it makes changes, but Chief of Staff Beth Tigan says that's not a definite rule. The school system's health committee met Monday morning, and any possible changes will be announced later today at the school board's work session, according to Tigan. Stay tuned. We'll bring you the latest from that meeting today. Well, here's a way you can help brighten Valentine's Day for a local senior citizen. The Henrico County Advocate for the Aging and the county's Engage program are again hosting their Spread the Love Valentine's Day card-making event. And they hope to collect more than 1,000 Valentine's Day cards to distribute to residents of long-term care facilities in the county. You can participate by just making a card or getting together with a group and making a bunch. Officials ask only that the cards include generic but uplifting and cheerful messages inside to celebrate the day. Send your cards by February 4th to Henrico Engage, attention Emily Atkinson, at P.O. Box 90775 in Henrico 23273. New COVID-19 cases in Henrico continue to pile up. The county yesterday saw 745 new cases. That brought its 7-day moving average to 700 new daily cases. That's an all-time high during the pandemic. There were also 6 new hospitalizations reported in the county yesterday. That's the most on a single day since there were 8 reported September 17th. It's been a sad time recently for the friends and family, co-workers of longtime Henrico County employee Steve Hickson, who passed away unexpectedly last week. And on a personal note, I'd just like to take a moment to remember Steve, who I had the fortune of knowing in a number of capacities over the years. Steve was one of the champions of prevention services in the county and in the region, working with Henrico area mental health and developmental services. And Steve was also a listener of this podcast and supporter who even thought enough of it to run several ads for Henrico area mental health. Steve will be missed by all those who knew him and all of those whose lives he impacted, and we send our condolences to each of them, his family, his friends, and his Henrico County family.